All right. Hey, all of you freedom loving boys and girls, Centerline Systems. Hey, welcome to our video. Back in November, John, aka Gimli, as you can see on the screen next to me, was kind enough to come on as a guest, and we did a loadout live for our little rucksack. Now, the problem with those live streams, they're long. Hour, 10 minutes, hour 15, whatever, and it's a lot. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to kind of cut through the fluff, as the one gentleman likes to call it, cut through the fluff, and John's going to do just the loadout section from that video. So we're not going to, we're going to kind of skim over one or two things. So if you want, go back and watch that loadout. It was November of last year. I think it was like the second or third week of November. Go check it out. It'll be Loadout Live, our Little Ruck. But we wanted to kind of, again, like I said, the main point of today is John had so many clowns coming out of his clown car. We were like, okay, let's just do that again and just capture just what's coming out. But just one last thing on my side before I turn it over to John and we start doing the loadout, because I don't think I mentioned this in the videos before, but options. Not everybody's going to want this stuff, so it's an option. So this is a sternum strap that's very easy for anybody to put onto the shoulder straps of the rucksack. The shoulder strap has adjustment points, so you can wear it wherever it's comfortable, up on your chest, your thorax, right? But that's an add-on. So that's just a shoulder strap. I'm sorry, not a shoulder strap, a sternum strap. And then we don't do the gear strap kits anymore, but we do these, we call them docking straps. Used to be called drug straps, because like a drug, once you get one or two of them, you're like, oh shit, I need a ton of those. But these are also add-ons. This is multicam black, and it's just got a male and female side release buckle. Wrap it, there's tie downs. You'll see when we do the loadout on the bottom of the ruck. And then this would give you the ability to put a big jacket or a ground cloth or something there and attach it to the bottom of the ruck if you wanted to carry it that way. So those are just some add-ons. I don't think we mentioned that in the last video. And if you've been watching any of my videos, I've got a weight restriction. So my video is plumb empty right now, but Ranger Green, multicam black, the last little plug I'm going to give, and maybe John will have you do it, but or not. We don't have a ton of time. Go see the other videos. The very unique design, the creation that we came up with to make the flap design the way we did. So even when it's unsnapped and it's not secured, just go look at the other videos. Again, I can't do, like a gallon of milk, but you see me with all the gear in it, and it's upside down, it's unsecured, and I'm shaking it. This flap doesn't open up. You have to turn it inside out. That was very intentional to give each and every one of you a little bit more security, assurance, assuage any concern. So again, we all fall down like Humpty Dumpty. Some of us a little bit more Humpty and a little bit more Dumpty. I guess that could be us right now there, Gimli. A little Humpty Dumpty action going on. But all right, John's been here before on the live stream. I think we'll forego the, who he is. Again, you've seen him on CLS After Dark. He's done a couple loadouts with him. We really love him, having him come on, especially for what you're about to experience. I just rambled for about 3 minutes, and we're going to go because it's, John's a former Marine, and it's going to be very impressive when you just see how much shit he's got shoved in that proverbial 5-pound bag. So without further ado, thanks for being here, John. And whenever you're ready, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, we'll take it away. So, just real quick before I get started, let me premise everybody. If you have questions, put them in the comments. I will come back and check them periodically, and obviously go watch the live. Okay.
So, and I'm going to put you full screen again, just so everybody can see it better.
All right. So this is how I got my rucksack configured. Okay. So we got a canteen carrier Scout and then a G3 on the bottom. Okay. And you guys seeing that, I'm just going to go through the G3 real quick. I'm going to move you guys down so you can see kind of how I got this loaded out. So you can
now just say before you go, just everybody, these are add-ons. It doesn't have to be the G3 or the Mother of Scout. You can add your own pouches. So again, this is about the rucksack, but the ability to add these other pouches so you can configure it for whatever your adventure is pretty damn nice. And so again, just look what John's been rucking with. And again, you're going to get a sense of, there's a lot of fucking gear. Oh, excuse my F-bomb. There's a lot of gear that he's carrying. So go ahead, sir.
So to that point too, if you guys go back to the original loadout, Mark and I have pictures of, I did probably a dozen different configurations with the add-on pouches. Okay. So real quick, just trash can or trash bag liner and a flare. There's an 8x8 tarp in one of these, and then also a air mattress with the pump sack. Got like fire kits in here, and then fishing cordages, all the cordage for my my tarp. So this is essentially just a shelter and fire kit or a sleep kit. Okay, so we'll move that out of the way real quick. And we're gonna come back up so you can see what I have in this thing. So, like Mark was saying, the top you kind of turn inside out. Okay, I have a Schmog, an EDO. This is my nav kit. Go check out the live. There's a live and a loadout video on this. I have a military poncho, leather gloves for working and cooking in the fire. Okay, liners for those gloves. I have EDC pouch. This is my medical kit. This would be a video in its own, but you guys can see. I mean, there is a ton of gear in there. Okay, that'll have to be its own loadout live. All right, so in the main pouch at the very end, I have a sleeping bag or a Whoopee liner. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can pack this. Since it's a frameless pack, you can put a tarp back here to make a frame. I chose not to do that, okay? But in that slot back here, I have a bunch of waterproof.
No, and just boys and girls, real quickly, when he says the slot back there, there's an internal rear slip pocket. You may not be able to see because it's dark. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you're starting to get a sense of it. Yeah. So
yes, I have a flashlight on my watch.
That's right.
All right. So that's main pouch. Up front here, you can put an axe or a shovel through here. I chose to carry some food in it, so this is like a pound of dried chili and rice. Okay, so there's food for a couple days. Over here on your canteen kit, this is obviously water and food. So cup, wood stove, water. I have an alcohol stove to put into this wood stove so now I can boil everything. And the main pouch here, we have a bottle that I don't have alcohol in it right now, but that's where I'd hold my fuel. And just to kind of give you an idea, that takes maybe about 2/3 of that pouch left. So you could definitely stick a couple protein bars in there, candy bars, whatever. And here we got the lighter. We got a Victorinox, Victorinox Swiss Army knife, headlamp. And then on this side, it is empty. That's for lickies and chewies, hot cocoa mixes, stuff like that. Okay. Take us over to the other side. We got a saw pouch with a silky gomboy in it. On the Scout bottle carrier, I have a Grail water filter. All right, that's a great filter. Inside of that, I have a nesting cup, if I can get the sucker out. Okay, so there's a nesting cup. Also have the lid for that. So I actually have two ways to cook, two ways to boil water. Okay, in the front pouch here, I have something called a millbank bag. So you can literally take this up into a mud puddle, scoop it up with muddy water, hang it from a tree, let that filtered water drip in to this outside cup. And then you got filtered muddy water in here, filtered particulates. It's not safe to drink. And then you filter that out, and now you have clean drinking water in there. Okay. Also have, like I said, hot cocoa mixes, energy drinks, stuff like that. And then lastly, I have more Garberg on the outside. On all my kits back here, I don't carry a belt knife because I don't wear a belt. Every pack that I have has some kind of fixed blade knife on it. Okay. And that's it. Obviously, there's a lot of gear in there. You guys can kind of see all the stuff that was in here. I definitely recommend going and checking out the main loadout live because we'll get into some of the stuff in depth.
All right. So that was a down and dirty trying to just show you a quick, how much stuff he had in there. Yes, he's got other items added to the outside. That's the whole beauty of it. Plug and play, use it how you want to use it, right? And, the nice thing I personally think is having those add-on pouches gives you better organization. Oh, that pouch I can always access. And maybe that's got my water filtration because that's my priority effort, or my fire starting kit because that's my priority effort, or it's my shelter kit because that's my priority of effort, right? So I really like that functionality and that capability. Go see the other videos. Shoulder straps, there's these things are kind of like our padded strap wraps, so you can store items inside of the padding right there, that cordage, lickies and chewies, filtration straws. The shoulder straps can come off. They're totally adjustable, but they can come completely off. And then if you want, you can mount this onto your rucksack. Now you got to go and get, like the I've got them. Just go see the other videos. It's kind of like a
malice.
It's like an malice clip. That's what it's called. Yeah. So there's all kinds of stuff like that out there. But if you wanted to, you could mount it to a plate carrier. That right there is our Little Ruck, and our loadout with John, aka Gimli, who definitely fit a whole bunch of stuff in there. Go see again some of the previous videos in the post. John, we're actually doing pretty good. I thought this might take 15 minutes. We actually got it in at 12 this time. Yep. Do you want to add any comments here for the last bit, and then we'll kind of make
thing before you start ordering pieces and parts? Check out the live, because we talked a lot about weight distribution, and you need to think about this in your head. Are you going to run a gap pouch on one side and a med pouch? Because if you just put a canteen carrier on one side, it's not gonna ride right, and then you're gonna be upset. So do your research before you.
Well, I mean, and that's basic stuff. You want balance north, south, and east, west. You don't want all the weight on one side. You don't want to have, because even just that mother canteen carrier full of water and then all the stuff in it. Yeah. I mean, you could easily be pulling somewhere like in around 5-6 pounds, and then that's on one side, and you will be pissed off 10 miles later because it's not going to ride properly. Make sure it's balanced. Think about how you have your gear balanced inside your ruck. Now, this is a small ruck, right? This isn't some ginormous mountain ruck, where maybe having, your weight distribution really well thought out, where you want your heavy weight, where you want your medium weight, where you want your lightweight. You obviously don't want your heavy weight all the way up on top. It's going to pull you back. However, mission dictates. Maybe that's your mission critical piece of gear. Well, then maybe for what we're doing here, you would want to mount that to the bottom of the rucksack, because again, maybe that's your shelter material, right? So just think that through. I'm glad you brought that out.
Yeah, we talked a lot. We talked a lot about it, and no one's saying you need to have all these extra pouches. I mean, my first setup, I had a bush pot on the inside and all my sleeping gear and food in the ruck. I didn't have any extras, and the thing weighed. And now if you go back to the live, I remember all this stuff weighed like, memory serves me correct, is 25 point something pounds. So, and that's with water and everything. The only thing I didn't have was extra fuel in this bottle. Okay.
Yeah. And I think during that, I showed what I was carrying in mine, which was simulating. So when I made this, I was just starting to be able to do physical fitness again, started rucking to get some, just to get back into physical fitness. And then I had another surgery. Anyway, long story short. But if you go back and look at those videos, same thing. I was just simulating what I would want to maybe take with me for, a 1 or 2 day overnight type of hike. I think I had 20 some pounds in there. And just like you said, plenty of food, plenty of water, plenty of the gear you needed. Again, you're not using this to go out and, well, I mean, maybe you could use it.
No, that was my point. This is definitely a 72-hour scenario kit. No problem.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say 7 days, but then I was like, well, look, you could easily do 3 days, but depending on how smart you were, you probably could do 7 days, especially if you weren't. Let me just be fair. Yeah. Hey, let me just finish. But maybe you could do it if the weather was good, right? 72 hours and, 50, it was 15 below where I live right now. That you're going to want a different rucksack for that. You're not doing
seasons.
Yeah.
3 seasons.
Well, it's still 4, but you've got to have that stuff on you. And, again, this isn't, I'm going out to spend the night, but I want to make sure I'm bringing stuff with me in case I have to, an emergency, I can do it, type of thing.
Yes, sir.
All right. Final comments there, sir. Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up in almost 15 minutes.
Oh yeah. Hey man, that's A+ for us. We got under 15. Go check out the live, comment, ask me any questions. I'll hit you back up when I see them.
Yeah. And John's really good at that. And everybody should give John a quick shout out. If you haven't watched some of the lives, we did have a naming contest for our upcoming new product. John, you know, he actually had the best name. It's the name I like, but to show, you know, just so no one thought we were doing favoritism stuff, John held his own contest and gave it away. So, matter of fact, I reached out to him just to let you know, John, on X. I'm still waiting to hear back from him, but
Okay.
I'm sure I'll hear from her. We'll see him on another live. So go watch the live back in November, 2nd or 3rd week of November. We did this whole thing. It was in fun live. It was about an hour. Didn't breeze through it as quickly as we did here, but just I wanted to shoot it as a standalone so you guys and gals could get a sense of, damn, that's a lot of gear. I mean, when you really think about it, that is a whole hell of a lot of gear in a really small, compact, you know, over the shoulder type of carrier.
And go back and look at this loadout because heck, that was a half an hour conversation right around this, wasn't it?
Yeah, just around the Edo. Yep.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have more of them. I mean, you know, that's part of the loadout live. So stay tuned. You know, the G3 gear roll, hammy version, SRDP, you know, X, Y, and Z, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if you got comments, you want to ask questions for John specifically, leave it as a comment in this video. If you've got questions for me, you know the deal. Reach out anytime. I will do the best I can to help you out. Until then, boys and girls, keep thinking, keep moving, and never, never quit. All right, we'll see you guys later. Be good. Woo!